Good morning. Good morning. Mm, Good morning, y'all. Oh God. Let's turn. Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday. Good morning. Happy Monday, y'all. It's a new week. It's a new week. It's been a while since I have talked to you guys, and I want to say there's been a lot going on, but I don't think there's been a lot going on. But I'm just gonna kind of jump right into what I'm feeling at the moment and kind of where I am. Sorry, I know that's not fair. I don't have updates for you guys, but um, I had a conversation with my husband and with God, and I've been trying to figure out where my head is and why I'm feeling a lot of what I'm feeling. And the number one thing I've been feeling lately is exhausted, y'all. I can't even say tired. I've been feeling exhausted every single day. It's like hard to get through anything. I'll start something and immediately I'm tired. I want to lay down. I want to rest. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm resting and I'm still tired. Um, and I'm like, this isn't right. Like I don't feel like I'm being productive. I just I'm not feeling good about how things are going. I don't feel good about my outtake on things. Let me say that because things aren't going badly necessarily. There's actually quite a few great things happening, but I just have not been feeling well positioned to take advantage of them or to work on them or to think about them. And so that just has been made me kind of take a pause and jumping kind of ahead to what I have realized is that I've been working in my own strength. Um, I have not been relying on God's strength to get me through anything. I've been working on my own. And let me back up a little bit by saying this is something that is prevalent in my life, has always been, which is I don't quite know how to ask for help. Let me open up the curtain for a second. Hold on. Hoping that helps with some lighting. But I don't know how to ask for help, y'all. That's not something I do often. It's not something I've had to do often. I've always just kind of gotten things done or thought that I got things done on my own. I've never had to really ask someone to help me. And I think I've gotten to the point where out of desperation, meaning like there's nothing else that I can do or I'm feeling overwhelmed or something, I've been able to say, hey, I need help. But it's that moment. It's out of desperation. It's once I have depleted all my own resources, right? It's too late, basically, is the point. And when I ask for help, it's a cry of desperation versus I was gonna say versus a structured, planned operation. But basically, I have not been able to look at something holistically and be able to identify here's where I need help, here's the type of help I'm gonna need, here's when I'm gonna need it, or here's I just don't, right? I just take things on and I just go and do. And I realize I've been applying that to my spiritual life. I've just been taking things in and getting assignments, getting expectations from God, and just trying to do it on my own. And I haven't taken that step to say, God, I need you. God, I need your help, right? We've been talking about praying for strength for months now. We've been talking about the importance of relying on Him. And while I have been really good at relying on Him for direction, I haven't been relying on Him for completion. I haven't been relying on Him for execution. And so I have been depleting the little bit of resources that I have on my own because I haven't sat with my father and asked him for help, which sounds so silly, but it's true. And I realized that yesterday, I think, or maybe the day before yesterday, but yesterday we had church and we were driving after church, and I was talking to the kids, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should just be recording right now because I was like in the midst of kind of getting everything together, or getting this understanding. And then Sunday school, and then Bible study happened later in the evening, and I got further understanding because we talked about rest, and we talked about backing up. So in church on Sunday, we actually we talked about reconciliation was the title, and um, I got a couple of takeaways that were relevant for previous conversations that I had, but it started my wheel spinning because we talked about the fact that yes, there are consequences for our actions when we sin or when we go against God's will, but Jesus paid the ultimate sacrifice for us to be able to be forgiven, right? That kind of started my wheels. And then in Bible study later on, we discussed rest. I think the title was called like My Way or Doing It My Way or something like that. My way being God's way. And we discussed, like I said, we discussed rest, and I'm entering into his rest. And like I said, y'all, my struggle has been the fact that like I have been feeling exhausted and I haven't been getting like physical rest. And yesterday's Bible study, we discussed um, kind of a continuation of like God never intended for us to have to labor the way that we do, right? Genesis 3:16 and subsequently 17 through 19, where we get Adam and Eve's punishment or humanity's punishment. Um, that is as a result of that, we now have to labor, right? Women have to labor physically through childbirth and raising our children, and men also have to labor and toil on the land in terms of being able to take care of their families. And so, but this is not the way that God intended for us to be. This is a punishment because Adam and Eve were disobedient, right? But ultimately, He wants us to enter into His rest. He does not want us to have to work physically hard. Well, that was not His intention for our life to have to put in all of this physical work. They're cleaning the streets. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I'm gonna just pause just in case. Okay, so yeah, it was never His intention for us to have to work so hard physically. Um, but as a result of the fall, this is something that we have to deal with. And that also sank into me. That also kind of sat with me, or at least I sat with that a little bit too, in thinking about my own struggles and the fact that, again, Jesus gave those or paid the ultimate sacrifice so that we can enter into his rest. There's no need for, I'm not going to say there's no need for physical labor, but we should not be exerting ourselves or overexerting ourselves in order to fulfill kingdom assignments, especially to fulfill kingdom assignments, right? You might overexert yourself to fulfill something in the world because ain't nobody told you to be working on that. So God is not in it. But if God's in it, you should not be overly exerting yourself. You should not feel exhausted doing God's work. You should not feel depleted in doing God's work. And if you do, maybe not doing something right, or maybe you're not doing it with him. And I think I know that's what I've come to realize is that I have sort of taken on all of this stuff. And as I have operated in the world, I've just kind of been like, all right, this is my job. This is my responsibility. I've got to figure it out. And that's not the way that God intended it to be. First of all, I think I've shared with y'all, building a team has been something that he has said to me for quite some time. I know that I have to build a team. I know that there is team members out here ready, willing, and able to help me. That's first of all. And second of all, like I said, just I know I've been assigned certain things, and I know there are things that need to get done. For example, the love life is like my number one assignment. This content needs to get up and needs to get posted. And while I am relying a lot on technology to help me out, thank God for those things to help things go a little bit easier, like creating my descriptions or being able to dictate and get notes back, whatever things. Uh, I have just kind of taken on the responsibility and the weight of the love life instead of, as I've talked to y'all about in the past, collaborating or discussing with God. Hey, daily posting is, and I'm giving you this as an example. I think the love life is probably the one piece of my life that is operating the way it's supposed to be and is not necessarily depleting resources for me. Um, but let's just say it was, being able to talk to God about, hey, I need to post every day. Can you help me figure out a better way to edit? Can you help me set aside time for this? Can you help me, find a different tool to use? I don't ask those types of questions. And quite frankly, when I pray, I don't pray. I'm back in a place where I've stopped praying for myself, and I've been praying for everyone else. I definitely thank God for all that He's doing for me, and ask Him to give me wisdom and things like that. But I'm not sitting down saying, "Hey God, here is all of that I have on my plate, and I'm confused. I don't know where to start. I don't know what I should prioritize. I don't know how to get this out the door. I don't know when this is due. I don't know what you expect from this." I haven't done that, and I have my mornings. Y'all know that. I come down here, I sit, I get my pen and paper, and God will dictate to me what I'm supposed to get done. Um, but I think even in that, I've been relying a little bit on my own understanding. I've been relying a little bit on my own understanding of that, where I've been coming down and saying, "Hey God, here's everything on the list. I'm gonna get started working. I'm gonna pray, and I'm just gonna jump into this because I'm thinking that we're on the same page about the assignments." So rather than bring my list to him and wait for approval, I've been bringing my list to him and going. And so that's another thing that I need to work on. But I think, like I said, the number one part of this has been I have been relying on myself to get things done, which y'all, that's no good to nobody. That's no good to nobody. So this week I am going to reset. I just edited a video where that's the title of it. But yeah, I'm gonna reset this week, and I'm going to try my best to get on track and rely on him, rely on his strength, rely on he is saying, listen for him. All the things that we have been practicing, doing, and talking about forever. I'm gonna go back to that this week and see how things change. So, like I said, this sense of like tired, being exhausted, it's been with me for a little bit, but it's only recently that it's kind of getting out of control. So where I feel like I can't work on anything because I'm tired all the time. And like yesterday, we went to service, and granted, I had did a lot over the weekend, so I knew Sunday was going to be a tough day. So we skipped Bible study, or we skipped Sunday school just to give ourselves a little more time to rest so we can get to service. We get to the service, or on my way to the service, I realized I have a couple of stops I have to make after service, and when I tell y'all I could barely, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. Like I had to go to the supermarket, I had to drop some things off at the library, had to like do a pickup, nothing too strenuous, like nothing that was gonna take me out of my comfort zone, except I just was gonna have to do a little bit more driving, but like, maybe 5-10 minutes away from my house, like nothing crazy. And when I tell you, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it. And I sat in church yesterday and I prayed for myself the whole time. Like there's a part of the service where we're asked to pray for people around us, which I did do. But when I tell y'all, I'll just sit there and all I could do is say, God, please help me. And like I said, I'm good at going for help in those moments. Like once I've gotten to depleted mode, now I'm like, I can't do this. I need help. What do? But I need to get better at doing that earlier on. When I'm given a task or an assignment, going to God, not only to ask Him what to do and get clarification on the task at hand, but get His strength, get His help. He got so much, so much. And it's not like, I keep saying this, that it's not that I don't believe He can help me, but I'm really getting sick of saying that. and I'm wondering now if that's actually true. But what I wanted to say is that it's not that I don't believe He can't help me, but I'm just feeling like He's given me enough and He's given me the task. And obviously, He's equipped me to do the task, so I should just go do it. That's kind of how I feel. Like, I shouldn't sit here like a baby and beg and wait and no, like, I should just go do it because I can do it. And while that could be true, that does not mean that I have to do it on my own strength, right? It could be true that He's saying, hey, you know what to do, now go ahead and get stuff done. Doesn't mean I can't come back and say, wait, hold on, can we double check? Wait, God, I'm not sure about this. Wait, God, like, how do you want me to prioritize all of that? And this morning I sat and I literally just jotted down an entire list of everything that I think needs to get done. I actually started doing it before I came downstairs. So this morning when I woke up, I actually just sat with Him and just talked with Him. I didn't come down to the desk. Just sat and I just talked with Him. And I just kind of gave a list of like everything that's making me feel overwhelmed or making me feel like everything that I feel like I have so much stuff to do. And immediately we started to parse through the list and be like, well, this is not a priority. This doesn't have to get done today, right? Or like, this is a nice to have. Nobody asked for that. So many of the things on my list were like, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. Like today, I have two things to do. I have a long list, right? Like if you look at my list, there's about 30 things on this list. But in terms of what has to get done today, I have two things to do. One of them is to send a text. Like, so I think I've been getting in my head a lot. And this is what I was talking to my husband about, which is like, there's a lot that I am doing. There's a lot on my plate, but I don't feel, when I think about them, I don't necessarily feel a sense of overwhelm that I've done in the past where I've been focused on worldly things and I'm like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this. All these people are expecting all of these things from me, and then I start getting, I can't. And while I still have doubtful moments, while I still have moments where I'm like, I don't think I'm good at this, I still have those low confidence moments that I have to push through because I know they're lies. I don't get that same sense of overwhelm. I just kind of get like there's a lot to do. And I think I beat myself up more now where I'm like, Tashima, there's a lot to do. You need to get on it. You need to start getting things done. There's too many things piling up on the to-do list that have not yet been started or completed. Instead of me saying, hey, there's a lot to do, let me go talk to God. I've just been like getting on me. Like, you know, God's waiting on this. You know, you've been told to do this. You know, you're expected to do this or that. You know, this person needs this or that. You got to do it. You can't be sitting here talking about you tired. And so I've been doing a lot of that. And that doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't make me feel good to talk to myself in that way. It doesn't make me feel good to hear myself talk to myself in that way. It doesn't make me feel good to have that pressure on me. And so like I said, I don't think I hit rock bottom yet, but I'm pretty close to rock bottom, and so now naturally I'm ready to dissect everything and talk to God about the things that I should have been talking to Him about a long time ago. And again, I know that He knows them. You know, He's sitting right here listening to me, but I need to learn how to rely on Him. I think if having faith was one of my biggest challenges, now it is learning to really tap into His power and leverage it. Not for me. I think that's the thing that I also like um get nervous about, which is tapping into the power for my own personal benefit. And I have to remember that because I'm focused on assignments that He's given me to build up His kingdom, I'm tapping into the power for the benefit of others. I'm tapping into the power for the benefit of the work that I'm doing that's going to support the kingdom. I'm not tapping into the power so that Tashima can, be successful, or that Tashima can be heard, or that Tashima can be seen. I'm tapping into the power so that the work that is here to be done for him can be done. And so I think I have to let go of that as well, which is like, oh my gosh, I have access to this source that could give me so much, right? It's almost like a cheat code, right? But I'm not supposed to use that source. I'm supposed to work on it on my own. I'm supposed to figure it out on my own. It's like that's the dumbest thing you could ever think. Like, sorry, not to come at myself again, but that's just not smart. That's not the way it's intended to be. And again, we have to understand this new realm. It's brand new. We don't know it. We have to learn how to walk in it. We got to learn the language. We got to learn the rules. It doesn't operate like the world operates. And so tapping into a power source that God has placed before me is something that should come naturally to me. It's something that I should want to do. It's something that I should be eager to do. It's not something that I should feel like um, is a cheat code to life. So because God wants us into his rest. He wants us to rely on him. He wants us to know he's got it. We ain't got nothing. We're just use his vessel, right? This is his work. This is his world. Um, and we need to rely on him, like Adam and Eve did when they were living in that garden. They didn't need clothes. They didn't need to worry about food. They didn't need to worry about anything except being obedient. Now, let's not eating, from that tree, but like they didn't have to fend for themselves. They didn't have to, build their house and, you know, fight animals and all of those things. They were just able to be in reliance on him. And um, that's not a natural thing for us anymore. We don't know how to do that. The world doesn't want us to do that or teach us how to do that. So I've got to learn. I've got to learn. So that's the goal for this week. This week is to learn how to tap into the source, y'all. That's what I'm doing this week. Learning how to tap into the source so that I can get the things done I need to get done. And yeah, I'm excited to see it happen. Um, I don't know if I guess I'm excited for the end result. Like I'm excited to be like, oh, tapped in, and all of this stuff happened, and everything got done. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like something is almost like holding me back. Like I feel like I'm like up against something. Like there's something that's like just kind of not. I don't know. I feel like I should be like, oh my gosh, the source is available to me. Let me go run and get it. But there's just something that just, I don't know, makes me hesitate. Um, but anyway, I will be continuously in prayer for you. I hope you'll be in continuous prayer for me. And maybe I'll be back later on. Oh, wait, before I go, I do want to share some good news, which is that JVA, Frosting got his first client. So excited about that. I have a new client who will be taking advantage of some of the more strategic work that I do. And I think it has really good potential to um, do some good things. Definitely in alignment with my long term goals for the work that Frosting will do, which I've also gotten a little bit more clarity on, which hopefully I can share in another video. But very excited. This client came through my class, actually, my Monday class. We had a chance to meet up last week and just talk through some of the challenges that he's having and some of the goals that he has for his business. And so I'm excited to be able to help with that. And excited to obviously have some new work to do, to be committed to for that. So that's great. The other thing that's happening that I've been alluding to but have not yet been able to talk to y'all about. Unfortunately, I still can't talk to y'all about it because it's not finalized, but I also had a very good conversation around that. Waiting on some follow up, but we'll see how that goes. What else is going on with Frosty? I did not win the pitch competition, unfortunately, but I have been invited to attend the market day, the fair, whatever they call it. There's like an event that day. So yeah, I did get a chance. I will be able to attend that. So waiting to hear more about that. Sucks that I didn't get the grant, but it's not the end of the world. And I'm glad that I put together that budget because now that frosting, um, has a growing revenue stream, it's good to be able to see where I intended funds to go and like keep that basically as my budget for the year. So, yeah, that's that. And I think that's about it. I'm gonna now go get ready for homeschool and I'm trying to post today's video, but it looks like it's gonna be late. But that's okay. It's done. It's currently exporting, so that's gonna take a little bit longer. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get homeschool stuff ready. Probably work on dinner, and then we'll start with the day. So with that, I will see y'all later. Hope I can come back and like share some more detailed updates on things. If not today, then maybe tomorrow or another day. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Oh wait, let me use my little. I have a remote now. Bye, y'all.